Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm okay.
How are you really?
I always use this term, I'm fine. And then one of my friends always calls me out. She's
Hmm.
like, when you say fine, you're not okay.
You're
So
not fine.
I'm fine. I'm good. My house is good. My family's
Thank God.
safe. My friends are struggling and suffering. We're obviously referring to the fires in Los Angeles. It's been a lot. It's been destructive. And I haven't seen the aftermath in person yet
Mm,
because it's closed.
yeah.
Rob did.
Hmm.
Rob ended up finding a way in to go
Okay.
with a friend of ours. They had evacuated to our home in
Hmm.
from the Palisades. And ironically, 2 days later, we all had to evacuate my house as a group. So it was very traumatizing.
Yeah.
And then they ended up staying at Josh Flagg's that night in Beverly
Hmm.
Hills. And we stayed at another friend's. It's been a lot. And I was born and raised in LA 41 years ago. I grew up in the middle of the Santa Ana winds in
Hmm.
Porter Ranch.
Yeah.
As you know, the winds are
I
in,
know all too well. That's where Noel
that's
lives.
right.
Yeah.
But never have I seen destruction like this.
Hi, I'm Cynthia.
I'm Crystal. This is Humble Brag.
Humble brag.
Humble Brag.
Oh, I have tea.
Once a housewife,
Always a housewife. Can we say that again for the people in the back?
Humble Brag.
Humble brag. Brag with us.
It's like I can talk about it so much and so many stories that I know. And also, I'm like, I feel like I don't even know what to say. It's just because we're still in it. I feel like the fires today, for the first time, have finally calmed down, which is why we're
Hmm.
sitting here. We've
Hmm.
kind of moved this day a lot, but,
Yeah.
it's only been a week.
Wow. It's only
Yeah.
been a week.
But thank you for asking.
Oh, of course. Of
Yeah.
course.
I know you were like, what's going on? You were checking in on me.
Yes, from the outside looking in, it literally on the news just looked like the world was ending.
Yeah.
Like LA was just all of LA was
Yeah.
burning down.
Yeah.
And like for you, you were like in the thick of it all. So
Yeah.
these past 4 days, like what does that look like for like what did that preparation look like?
Yeah.
Did you guys did actually evacuate, but
We
then you guys came back
evacuated to this third night. Yeah.
third
Because
night. And
look,
then the kids
I
and what's
live,
happening with schools, with your
that's right.
children.
So I got a call from my girlfriend who lives in Palisades, my best friend, who you know, Leanne.
Hmm.
And I was on the phone, maybe with you, or so I was on the phone, I think possibly
I
with you.
think we may have been texting.
Yeah. And then, no, but she was like, I didn't answer. And then I look up at my phone as I'm talking to someone and I see text, I'm coming now. There's a fire. I said, okay, I just wrote, okay, great. Like, come. Like, you don't know. I mean, there's fires this is LA.
Right.
Fires are not foreign to us.
Hmm.
So I'm like, okay, come over. And then and then I start looking and I'm like, it's in the Palisades. So I text my other, ironically, best friend named Leon,
Right.
whose son is Max's best friend and goes to our school. And I said, if you need, just go do whatever you need to do.
Hmm.
Like, I didn't really know how bad
Right.
it was no one could have expected this.
Right.
So I said, I'll just pick up the kids from school. They can come to my house at the end of the day and like whatever you need to do to like repack or if you have to evacuate. Like, it's like I said, it's not foreign to
Right. You're
evacuate
used
in LA.
to fires,
Yeah,
but
fire.
nothing on this level has ever
No,
happened
no,
in the history of
no. And I
fires
pray
in
to
LA.
God it never happens again. This is too
Yes.
much. But we're sitting there, and so my girlfriend and her daughter come. She's in town from she's studying abroad from Paris. And I was like, where's Richard? And she's like, he's staying and he's getting more stuff. And I totally
Mhm.
understood that because I didn't know where it was spreading to. Because when we had happened to us, we stayed as long as we could to sort
Yeah.
of take everything off the walls. And as it was getting worse and worse, I mean, we're talking about 100-mile-an-hour winds.
Mhm.
We started realizing that this was sort of becoming like a fire cyclone, I think what they call
Mhm.
it. And
Mhm.
my experience that day was we literally sat there comatose because he would not come home. He just refused to answer the phone. And we actually saw him on the news.
Wow.
And you see him like, and she starts screaming, it's Richard. It was like 9 o'clock at night. So we were watching for like 9 hours at this point. I mean, it
Yeah.
was a long day of like
Yeah.
hell. And we're going to talk about reaching out to friends and
Mhm.
panic and suffering
Mhm.
and all that.
Mhm.
I don't want to make it too long because there's so many of these kind of stories, but he finally got back at 11. And when I tell you, he looked like he went through war.
Mhm.
And my girlfriend was so upset, like, why won't he come home? And I said, don't be upset. Like, he's of course she's so scared, you know, but I said, he's trying to do everything to save your home. And we finally left. He said, I literally did everything I could, but I couldn't save it. So in that moment, we're like, their house is gone. And it's a beautiful house they built. And he said, everything's gone. And we just couldn't understand that concept because the cameras were like so high above the wind and fire. Like we didn't know. And long story, I mean, there's so many.
Yeah, no, I know.
I don't even know where to go, but it's been really hard. But I will say at this point, I've counted about 32 of my friends who've lost their homes. 60 families from just Max's school have lost their homes. The rebuild is going to take not 1, 2, 5, maybe 10, 20 years, I actually think. Wow. And I just hope people have grace. You know, we talk about Palisades, it's a wealthy community, but it didn't start wealthy. It started very much a humble suburb. And a lot of my friends.
And it wasn't just the Palisades.
No.
So
I think people think
that
right.
this is only affecting wealthy people, and that's not true.
No.
I have friends in every tax bracket.
Yeah.
And quite a few of them were affected by these fires. And I feel like the empathy should be for anyone who has lost a home, because this is like, no matter how much money you make or don't make, everybody's leveled when they have lost a home.
Of course. And
all
I think
of their memories.
What I'm finding is that, I don't know how people cope with things. And I think that's a whole other topic of dealing with trauma collectively. But I find that there's a lot of comparison. Well, you didn't lose your home, but like like the levels of loss, right? And I see a lot of people out in the world commenting, well, you're so rich, it's not like that. It's, you lost, like you said.
A home is a home.
A home is home. Your memories, your life. And you don't know people have insurance.
Absolutely.
You don't know.
And that's a whole nother conversation.
Yes.
I was so disgusted by what is going on with these insurance companies for these homes.
Yeah.
Like canceling their insurance.
So I'll tell you.
How does that
work?
Yeah. How does that work?
So I tell my friends who want to move into the hillside, because we're in the hills, it's called fire zones. Like, so there's a map of if you're in the fire zone and like levels. And so that determines your like insurance, ability to get insurance, cost of insurance. So we're in fire zone. But
if you're in a fire zone and like, I mean, I'm just going to ask questions because I don't really understand a lot of how that works. If you're moving into a home that is in a fire zone, wouldn't your insurance automatically require you to have fire insurance?
But here's the thing. They don't want to insure you because your likelihood of this happening is much higher than someone having fire insurance in the flats. Like in LA, we have hillside and flats. That's sort of determining of where you live, right? So after what happened in Malibu years ago, they've only rebuilt, from what I've read, 15% of the homes. Because there's so much red tape to get permitting. So that's why today we heard, Newsom said, we're going to not have red tape. It doesn't really matter about the red tape. Like for the people with a lot of money, they can rebuild quickly. Most people don't have enough money, cash to build a house. It's just impossible. Yes, you should be able to get insurance. Insurance is privatized. No one's required to give you insurance other than the government, I guess. I don't really know, but I know we have insurance. But this year I didn't realize they were dropping people until the fire started, but I think I was part of that group that they were trying to drop. So a few months ago, I got an email saying, my business manager called me like, you need to do X, ABC, to keep your fire insurance. They made me so much money, because I have a Spanish house and they say that's better protected. But like my tiles, I had to add like covers between each of the front of the tile, so there's no oxygen that comes in. So that cost me thousands of dollars. Then I had to remove all these things away from the house. That cost me money. Right. So that was and I had to send pictures. They had an auditors come. So if you didn't do one of those things, they dropped you.
Wow.
Could they have predicted that all this would have happened? Certainly not. But it's what happened. And a lot of people can't afford to update. And I remember telling Rob, I was like, this is so much money. Like, are we ever he's like, we can't afford not to have insurance. Right. So, and also what I don't think people realize is that, let's say your house is worth $1 million. You don't necessarily get insured for $1 million because you can't afford $1 million. So you're going to insure your house for $500,000 because that might be just enough to cover the cost. Like I'm
Right.
not fully insured
Right.
because I can't afford to fully insure my
Right.
house. But here I am in this situation and many people, and I'm like, it's such a complicated thing. And I can't believe my friends right now who've lost their home are now dealing with that. Like I just got off the phone before we sat down that they said that they're only going to delay our friend's house that burned down 3 months of their mortgage.
Because I was going to ask about that.
3 months of mortgage. There's no house to, like, what are you mortgaging? There's nothing left.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to delay it 3 months? Like, you're not going to build a house in 3 months.
No.
So now it's going to be a legal fight. There's civil law. I mean, there's just so much going on, but it's really just about my friend. My friends are really suffering. My friends' kids are suffering. My children's best friends are suffering. And I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do.
You know, again, from the outside looking in, you know, you just feel so like helpless.
Yeah.
And I lost, I didn't lose, but one of my best friends lost her home as well. And I texted her because I was like, oh my God, like, let me check on Tracy. And in my mind, like I was still processing that this was actually happening.
Yeah.
And it took a while and she finally texted me back and said, we lost everything. And then that's when it just hit. I was like, oh my God, because she's by no means wealthy. Like they are just regular working people that, you know.
And you also think it's like they're not going to respond to you that they lost it.
Absolutely.
You think it's like it's all happening, but it's not going to happen to your friends.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Then I started thinking about all my friends. And I was thinking about like, oh my God, if this is really happening, if you just lost your home, do you even have time to even respond to a text? Like, is that like, were you just getting blown up with text messages? Because I know I reached out and like, where does your mind go when this is happening? Because again, like for me, I'm feeling like, oh my God, I need to text every single person I know in LA and make sure they're okay.
Yes.
Absolutely.
By the way, I know because I was on both sides. I was first for the first 2 days, the home to take in my friend who was evacuating. So I was like her support. And I'm watching the news, seeing if her house burned, right? And she's getting a flood of texts. Is your house okay? And it's like, she's like screaming at the phone, like, stop, leave me alone. Leave me alone. I don't know if my house is okay. And I'm watching and I'm upset for her. And then as the fire moved to me and it became me, then it was, I totally understood and actually allowed me to have a little bit more understanding and grace because I watched her.
Absolutely.
Because I kept telling her they just want to reach because they care.
For me, the first question was, are you and your family okay? And then my second text was, is the house okay?
Right. So I think that in the future, sadly, because there will be a future, it'll be stupid to say that this won't happen again because it will.
Yeah.
We live in where we live. The best text is, I'm thinking of you. I love you. I'm here if you need me. You don't need to respond.
Exactly.
Give them the space.
Yeah.
No need to respond.
Yeah.
Give people.
And I feel like you should even just say, don't worry about responding.
Correct.
I'm just thinking of you.
Yes. And if you need anything.
That's
right. I think that's the best thing because it puts pressure on the person. And my house wasn't even in the fire and I didn't lose anything. But I watched my friend suffer and I went through it, a couple of years ago and people were like texting me. And I remember being so overwhelmed. And one girlfriend would not stop calling me. And I finally picked up and I was like, leave me alone. I'm evacuating. And she's like, I'm leaving for New York right now. I left the door unlocked, take my house.
Mm-hmm.
So there is and I took her house. Like she has kids. We had a house for a week. And in those moments, so it's like, I know people are trying to help.
Yeah.
I know it, but there's no right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Everyone is just trying to figure it out. It's mayhem. And you expect in 2 or 3 days, we survived.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, in this situation, the majority of the calls, the response is like, I lost it. Every time I open my phone, it's another friend that lost their house. And it's unfathomable. Like my text is, I'm here. I literally don't know what to say to you. Nothing I say will be okay, but I will do anything you want me to do. That's what I write. And I will.
Exactly.
You need to pick up your kids from 10 hours away. Right. I'll go fucking do it.
Exactly.
Like I don't know what to do for my friends. Like I feel so badly for them because I just want to rewind this week, and I tell Max, blah, blah, blah's house burnt. He's like, I told him last night, I found out another of his friends, and he's like, oh my God, that house was so beautiful. And I just texted her, I want you to know, Max said your house is so beautiful. And she said it was. And I'll have another beautiful house one day. I'm like, you will.
Yeah.
And it's, then I have another friend I told you texted me today. I'm struggling. And I said, I know, please tell me what I can do. And she said, I don't know what you can do. She's like, I want you to do something for me. I don't know what you can do for me. And that's just, you just have to let it be, and I love when you were saying that, like when you landed, things seemed normal and the world needs to move on, but like our community will not move on for a long time.
Right.
And I remind them, like, I just think everyone has a different position and point of view in this experience, and people are allowed to suffer for 100 years.
Yeah.
They can remember this day the rest of their lives, and that's okay. And also people are allowed to walk their dogs and be like, wow, that happened 10 miles away. I don't really know anyone that suffered, and that's also okay.
Yeah.
So I just think it's like territory that no one knows how to navigate, but we all have to give grace.
Absolutely.
For whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you said that, because like there were just two things I want to touch on. Number one, even when I was speaking to Noel, like basically Noel's dad and myself, we just attacked Noel. Like we didn't even, like as soon as we got a grasp on what was happening, we were like, you just need to get out.
Yeah.
You just need to go. Like, don't even wait. Like, just go now. And, she just turned 25, which she's not a baby, but at the same time, she's never been through something like this by herself.
Yeah.
Like,
there's a lot.
Like, even for you, I feel like you have had some kind of idea kind of how to deal with
100%.
something like this. Just even being from LA, she just moved out here. Once it became real to her, and I know that Leon and I definitely stressed her out as parents, because we were like talking to each other like she has to go, because Noelle was calm. She was like, okay, all right, if I get the evacuation notice, I'll leave. And then, but it still didn't seem real to her because it was just not affecting her area at the time. Right. And then when I think it was the Kenneth fire happened, then it was closer. Like, now it's getting close.
Yeah.
And then she could see smoke from her window.
Yep.
And then at that point, I was like, okay, you have to go. Do you have gas in your car? Grab whatever you can. Go. And she was like, okay, I got it. Once they, give me the notice, I'm going to go. But at some point I was like, no, you just need to leave now, because if you wait until you get the notice, maybe it's going to be chaos on the highways. Yep. Maybe it's going to be harder for you. Right. So as a parent, I was so stressed out just trying to micromanage her situation from afar. And we were going back and forth, like I was getting into arguments with Noelle, like, you just need to go. And she was like, Mom, you're making this worse, because I feel like I don't want to just be out of my home if I don't have to, but I'll go if I have to. But like, you're making it, like, we were like,
but that's again,
making her crazy.
No one knows what to do.
Yeah. And then
no one knows, like the panic is real. And it's like, also I'm thinking when you're sitting here, it's like, she's where she is. Yeah. And I'm like, but where is she going?
Right. Because that was part two of the conversation.
The fires were just popping up everywhere. There was arson everywhere. So like, that's what happened to us. We ended up, my friends came to us. We all had to evacuate. Where do we go? What's next?
And you were like the safe spot. And so what happened was I was like, okay, we have to find somewhere for you to go. So she was like, okay, I'm going to go to my friend Ruby's house. And then we were like, okay, she has a place to go if she has to leave. And then Ruby called like 2 hours later and was like, we decided to go. Like, so now her plan, they took off and drove to like Santa Barbara or somewhere. Right. I don't know where they went.
Santa Barbara. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh shit. So now where's she going to go now? She just out of nowhere, just like burst out into tears and started crying. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. So I was like, wait, okay. And she's not like a cry person. So, and I think as a mom, it's so hard to see her, like she just like was scared.
Yeah.
And that like now it was like scaring her because again, I think it takes a minute to set in that you could lose, that your house could burn down.
Yeah.
And so she just started crying hysterically. And I was like, okay, let me stop freaking out and then let me be strong again.
Because now your energy.
Because now I've totally like stressed her out. Right. And now she's crying and she's by herself. And I was like, okay, Noelle, all right, I'm sorry. Like, it's like, okay, don't cry. You're going to figure this out. You got this. You got this. I had to like go into a whole different direction. And for me, my mindset was, I got to get on an airplane. Even just being in the same city, just being in LA, just makes her feel so much more comfortable in case, because they're saying, oh, the winds are coming. It could be more fires. Like, it's just so much uncertainty.
Well, today the winds are coming in from that side.
And I'm just happy that I'm here.
Yes.
And so many of my friends and everyone in Atlanta was like, you don't need to be going out there. Like, there's this going on and there's like the air.
Here.
I was like, I am going to fucking LA if it's the last thing I do. Like, and then we had a snowstorm in Atlanta. So I was having difficulty getting out. And then it was like, when I tell you, Crystal, I was like, if I have to fly a private plane to get to my child, I just need to be in the same city with her. She cannot go through this by herself. Yeah. And again, for me, it's like, Noah doesn't have a whole lot. She's, she's, her house is, she's renting her house. But at the same time, she's never been through anything like this. She didn't know what to do. Like even, she was like, well, what, just trying to figure out what to take. And I was like, I don't know, I didn't even know what to tell her to take, to be honest. I was like, your passport, your wallet, your ID, make sure your car is full. And she was like, well, what about this and what about that? And then I was like, it was, and so, and it didn't even happen to her. So she left, she evacuated and drove 3 hours to her girlfriend's house. Okay. Nothing happened in her area. And then, she has a lot of anxiety, it just was a lot. And then she just wanted to go back home after like a day. She's like, can I go back home? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if you should go back home.
But that is classic feeling. You want to get the fuck out. And then when you're out, you want to be
you want to be in your own bed. Like we talked about like your children, but like they wanted to be in their beds until they couldn't be in their beds anymore.
Yeah. Every night was like, is this our last night here?
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, it might be. I wasn't like, no. I'm like, because I never thought all the way from Palisades and Malibu would touch our house. It's not that close. It's not that close. And I'm like, you know what? It might be. It might be, and enjoy it and appreciate it. And we could buy you another bed one day. Yeah. But be in your bed. And if you have to get out of your bed, I will get you out of bed. It's okay. Yeah. I didn't sleep. I slept with my eyes open that night, every single night. It was horrible. While also like, again, it's like you were saying, like nothing happened to her. And it's like we're all trying to like minimize and manage our feelings about like what happened to us when we know someone struggled so much more. And it
was so confusing because I was calling other people that lived in Puerto Rancho. I was like, are you guys evacuating? And like 50% was said, no, we're going to stay until it's like mandatory. Yeah. And then the other half was like, we're out. Yeah. And then there was like an announcement saying that they had to evacuate, which was
it was like a mistake.
Yeah. And then that was like, and when we got that message, then Leon and I were definitely like, you got to go now. Yeah. Like, forget packing, get your ass in the car and just drive. And at that point, her place that she was going to go was gone. And so we had found another place. It was crazy.
Your reaction to her is correct. I don't believe in panic, but she lives in the hills. Yeah. And she lives up. Yeah. You got to get out. Yeah. I live in the hills and I live in kind of, we talked about with Jeff Lewis today. Like I'm not deep, but like you got to get out. Yeah. There's not many ways out. You're not just on a main road. And we can watch what happened in Palisades of people abandoning their cars and they couldn't get out. They waited, some people waited. And my girlfriend who lost her house today, she texted me. I haven't really spoken to her all week until today, but she had said they had no alerts. She smelled the fire from her house and saw it in
someone
her backyard.
Sent me the tracker. I think maybe you sent it to me. And Noelle was literally, we were all watching that tracker.
Live on that. You just live on it.
That was what the last 3 or 4 days was for me. Just like seeing
why is it going? Which direction? Where's the airflow?
And then it just kept feeling like another fire would pop up. Yeah. And the other thing I wanted to say, not to interrupt you, again, from the outside looking in, I was like, okay, the victims, the people that this has affected, let me put something out there to tell them where to go. Because I was trying to figure out where would my child go if it came down to it. I was so hurt by some of the responses, like with people saying, oh, these are just rich people. Who cares? And what is my $20 going to do? My $20 donation going to do for someone who has millions and millions of dollars or whatever? Do you know if if 100,000 people give $20, $10, that helps. Like every little bit helps. And I just really was so surprised at how people started trying to make people that had a bigger house feel bad for
But by the way,
saying that they lost their house.
You're also, it's not dissimilar to being on Housewives, right? Like, it's always like, you guys have so much.
Well, there's a perception if you're on TV or if you have any kind of famous celebrity that it means
you're
that
rich,
we're like,
rich.
Dripping in money when we literally are like waiting for the phone to ring every day to know if we have another job.
That's right.
And we're stretching that money out and
People
we're trying. So,
and at the same time, if you have a lot of money, those are your memories. Those all things you built. They deserve
the memories.
I actually commented, someone was like, am I supposed to feel bad for all you celebrities? And I'm like, you don't feel bad for anybody, but those people that you deem are like not important enough for you to care about, they're too famous or whatever, work just as hard as the working person, just because you know they are. Everyone works hard, and whatever was in their house, that plate, that cup, whatever, they bought it because they worked hard for it.
Yeah.
And that's their loss.
Absolutely.
And I think that people don't realize, they just talk about Palisades fire. There's so many fires. I mean, I know. The Altadena one, it was near my mom's, and that's a very working class community.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
we have a few friends that lost their houses.
I have friends that parents lost their houses
very
in that
diverse,
area.
very working class community. And that was the worst for me.
Yeah.
Watching people pass away there.
I just, I have empathy and compassion for everyone in this situation. It's so tough. But I really hope that the monies, like I see so many places to donate. There's Habitat for Humanity. I donated there. I'm going to donate to the Red Cross. There's so many different ones. And then I was like, maybe I need to go and get clothes and donate. And then they're saying, okay, we don't really need clothes. Like, again, it's really the money we need.
It's all a moving target, right? And I love that you've been posting about that. I only posted the day it happened.
Yeah.
Because.
Well, you were in it.
I was in it.
You're actually trying to figure out if you have to evacuate your family.
Yeah.
And
I wasn't ready to post, and I didn't want to make it about me. I was just like in it, and I was trying to I've decided, our coconut water company, we're going to do kind of a bigger thing, but really for me, it's micro. Like, how can I help my handful of friends?
Absolutely.
In a bigger way?
Yeah.
How do I guide them? How do I gift to them? How do I take care of the kids? Like, to me, that is how I am choosing. Like, because like I said, I don't know what to do, but like, I know that when I heard today is like, my friend said her son is suffering. I called Rob. I said, because we were together, and I said, talk to Max, reach out to his friend. Max is the only one that he wants to talk to. He wails at night. Like she told me, all night he cries. And he only wants to talk to Max. He won't open up to the family. And I'm like, this is where we can give.
Yeah.
Like, Max needs to be there, available all the time for him, no matter what. Drop everything. And it's those small things that's what I can do right now, because I can't, when we talked to Rob this morning at the house, like, he's like, you can imagine. Yeah. You could literally do everything you can imagine to sit there and think about losing everything. But you cannot. You can never understand it until you actually experience it. We're just trying to navigate all of it. And, I just pray to God it never happens to anyone else I know. I don't want this for anybody. It's just too much. Yeah, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of this.
Yeah, I really hope that, well, first of all, I commend like everyone who has come together and tried to, do whatever they can. At the same time, I really hope and pray that, the monies and stuff that are being donated, that a lot of that money goes to where it's needed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I really hope that the people who really don't have the means can have some way to rebuild.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because some people are just in different situations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's 100%. Just what it is. It's like, you're losing one house is very different. If you don't have some people may have 2 or 3 other houses. Like it's just, all over the place.
I just think that's what it is. It's just sort of like supporting everybody.
Yeah, like everyone.
Because those people are emotionally distraught too.
Yes.
But it's like there's a lot of people that really need a lot right now.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying without like.
But again, it's like
it's like such a hard conversation to even have. And like even we were doing Jeff's show earlier today. I was like having so much anxiety just even going over there today because I was like I really wanted to talk about what's happening from my perspective and just dealing with Noelle and then talking to you all the time and see like you literally went from, hey, I'm taking in a family to, wait, shit, I got to get out now. And like, it just was like all over the place.
Yeah.
And just being sensitive to everyone's situation.
Yeah.
Because again, for me, a home is a home.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how much it costs.
Yeah.
That's where you live. That's where your family is. That's where you sleep. That's where your
Totally.
memories are.
I think that's what's weird about today. It's like being out in LA felt very normal.
Yes.
It was like, Rob was like, it's blue skies. We don't see the fire in the yard. Like, it's really weird. But I was about to say, like, I want people to remember that these people are still severely suffering. Like,
Absolutely.
the fires are gone, but their
because
stuff is
now
gone.
it's set in. I think the first 2 days was just processing everything. And now it's like reality.
Yes. But also the rest of the world is going on about their lives.
Yeah.
And that's also okay too.
Yeah. Well,
right? Like, they need to live their life too.
I feel like we don't want to, like, I think one of the things that happened in the pandemic, and I'm not trying to compare it to the pandemic.
Oh, I've been comparing. Yeah. Every day we're in COVID. That's how it feels like in LA right now.
But I feel like we can't like just sit in the house and be afraid. Like, we have to try to
rebuild
and move
and live
forward.
Yeah.
And whatever that looks like. Like, when I landed, like, we were all looking out the window, like, are we like flying into the fire? Like, we didn't know what to expect. And, we saw the smoke and we're like, okay, oh my God. Like, now we're actually going to where it is.
Right.
And I remember getting off the plane and going into Hollywood. And I was actually happy to see people walking their dogs, like,
living their life,
trying to just still keep it together and just be normal.
Yeah.
And I didn't know I was, I'm staying at a hotel here between here and Noelle's place. And I went to the Godfrey first to take all my stuff over there. And I thought I was going to walk into like families everywhere, kids, animals everywhere. Like, I didn't know what I was going to walk into. And it was literally, Crystal, like a ghost town.
But was it like that before?
I don't know what it was like before. I think it was crazy the first 2 or 3 days.
It's not far from the Altadena fire.
Yeah, but I think what happened was it was like that before. And by the time I got here on Saturday, I walk in and I literally was like, where is everyone?
Yeah.
And the receptionist told me everybody left.
Right. It was literally like hour by hour.
The hotel was like 20% full. Like, I'm like one of the few people that's even there.
Right.
Like, everybody literally just got out of LA if they could.
It's a roller coaster, this whole thing. And now my friends are looking for homes. Like, they never thought 4 days ago they were in their house and now they have to find a new house.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, there's not, over 10,000 people lost their homes. 10,000 people, 10,000 homes are gone. What is that? 40,000 people. So those people are now vying for the only spots right now. And so that in itself is war right now, from what I understand. I've heard a lot of negative stories about searching and price gouging and all these things. People are like, do you want to rent your house? And I'm like, I'll take my friends in. I'll take like another family. I have enough room for another family. Like, I can squeeze, I don't care. But I just think right now the dust has not settled.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think people think like the fires are gone, so it's settled. I'm like, no, this is where the struggle and the work starts to happen. Like, that was panic. Now it's, fuck, what do I do? And it's going to be like that for quite a long time. But at the same time, the rest of the world needs to move on. It's just my community. And it's just, it's so heartbreaking. It's unfathomable. It's really a living nightmare.
Yeah.
It's really a living nightmare. I want my friends to be okay.
Yeah.
And this is also like mental health.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to
well,
go
that's
to therapy.
like a whole nother.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, this is just
the
beginning. Kids are going to need to go to therapy. They, they don't understand. My friends don't understand how this happened to them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, my heart goes out to everyone that has been affected by this. Like, I just can't say that enough. And I just pray for your healing and recovery. I know it's going to be a long road, but you got to stay positive. You just got to keep going, and just every day you just got to keep going. And it's very, very sad. And I'm so thankful that nothing happened to your house.
Thank you.
And I know like how hard that was for you and Rob to just try to keep everything together and do everything you can. You could do to save your house and
It's interesting.
and help your neighbors and friends, you know what I'm saying? So and then
you.
still deal with like the other side of life because the world didn't completely stop.
No.
Like you still had other things you had to respond to. Like we were even like texting back and forth about stuff for the pod. And I was like, anything I could answer for you, I was just trying to like answer it. I was like, you didn't even watch, I don't even think you even had time to watch the last episode. And I was like, I'll watch it for you.
I was just checked out. I even told Nick like today, I'm like, he texted me a week ago. I'm like, I didn't even respond to him because it was the morning of. And I'm like, sorry. Like I've
understandably so though.
You're actually one of the only people that I actually responded to because we're friends and we work together. But like, it's just debilitating, even though you're doing nothing. That's always weird about it. You sit there in a coma watching television. Waiting. But yet you have no energy to talk. You have no energy to respond. And I just think that it's trauma. Mm-hmm. By the way, we're going to talk about the 14 Friends episode because that was my own personal trauma. Yeah. Yes, I think let's wrap up this stuff because this is chapter 1 of that. Yeah. There will be more updates.
Absolutely.
And I'll talk about my friends going through it and I think trauma is a really important thing to talk about. And I think the lesson is grace. I think the lesson is just try to put yourself in the other person's position. Absolutely. It's not about you. No matter how much you don't think it's about being you, take one more step to not make it about you. It's about them, not you. Yeah. And I think that's the most amount of grace you can give someone.
Amen.
You're very good at it. I know that you were worried about it, but you're very good at like reaching out, supporting.
Ooh, thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Something else I know we've been both trying to do this year is eat better. For me, the most difficult part is meal prep. It takes so much time and energy that I usually give up. Simplifying your meal routine with Cook Unity has been key to allowing me to stick with it.
Reset your routine with Cook Unity for an endless variety of vibrant, healthy meals made by award-winning chefs.
The chefs you see on TV and in 5-star kitchens are the chefs who craft each small batch meal with you in mind.
Made from local and seasoned ingredients, sent fresh, not frozen, and delivered directly to your door at a fraction of the cost and time.
Go to cookunity.com/humble or enter code HUMBLE before checkout for 50% off your first week.
My favorite was the mixed green salad with mozzarella and almonds by Chef David Adon. It was so healthy and delicious. My favorite part about Cook Unity is that not having to think about meal prepping saved me so much time to accomplish other things.
Last night, I ate the pan-seared Cajun salmon with green beans and peppers, and it was insanely good. I just love the variety of chef-prepared meals that are available. They make personalization, which really takes the stress out of meal prepping.
It's easy to find dishes that align with your goals and enjoy a variety that keeps every meal exciting and satisfying.
Browse the menu by protein, chef, cuisine, or dietary need to personalize your own menu and find new favorites. Menus are updated weekly, and new chefs are always joining the team, so mealtime will never be boring.
It's just so easy and effortless. You get to choose from hundreds of meals prepared by award-winning chefs, or you can even let them choose for you if you want.
Oh, and probably my favorite part is that there's no cleanup or meal planning. Meals delivered, fully cooked, just heat in as little as 5 minutes.
It's flexible, commitment-free subscriptions. You can skip deliveries, pause, or cancel anytime. Enjoy restaurant-quality meals for a fraction of the price. Subscriptions start as low as $11 a meal.
Their roster of all-star chefs include Food Network alums, James Beard Award winners, and acclaimed restaurateurs balancing flavor and nutrition in small batch meals sent fresh, not frozen.
Made with humanely raised meat and organic ingredients when possible, plus fresh seasonal products.
Reset your routine with convenient, mouth-watering meals crafted with local ingredients by award-winning chefs.
Go to cookunity.com/humble or enter the code HUMBLE before you check out for 50% off your first week.
That's 50% off your first week by using code HUMBLE or going to cookunity.com/humble. Let's face it, weight loss can be overwhelming. That's why Hers is changing the game. By providing access to GLP-1 medications plus expert care, they make your goals more achievable. Hers is transforming women's healthcare by providing access to affordable weight loss treatment plans delivered straight to your door if prescribed. Hers offers a holistic weight loss program with personalized solutions, including compounded GLP-1 weekly injections featuring the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy or oral medication kits. After submitting an online intake form, a licensed medical provider will determine what plan is best for you. If prescribed, your program includes medication, ongoing care, and online support, all at one low cost. Weight loss plans are more affordable than hers, with compounded GLP-1 injections starting at $165 per month with a 12-month plan paid upfront for new subscribers. No hidden fees and no membership fees. So if you've been struggling with your weight loss journey, it's time you find the best option that works for you through Hers. Start your initial free online visit today at forhers.com/humble. That's forhers.com/humble for your personalized weight loss. forhers.com/humble. Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded. Actual price depends on product and plan purchased.
Start your initial free online visit today at forhers.com/humble. That's forhers.com/humble for your personalized weight loss. forhers.com/humble. Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded. Actual price depends on product and plan purchase.
Okay, I'm going to say this. We're going to talk about this now, okay? Because
Okay.
we're transitioning out.
Okay.
And I texted you about this, and we haven't been sitting here in a little bit, but I listened to the episode where we talked about weight, and you're so, and I literally said this on Jeff's show. I was like saying, I'm like, I had to call Cynthia and apologize. Like, you wear your heart on your sleeve. You are very expressive. You're very good at complimenting and like, you know, I like always make fun of you for being your like loving Pisces and all your like
quotes.
stupid ass quotes or whatever. But
You're welcome.
when I listen to it, I'm like I get it, because I truly listened back on that last episode when you expressed about your weight and we were talking about my bulimia and stuff, and like I was like, okay. Every time you compliment me, I'm like, oh, it's like I just want you to know, like, and I'm speaking for not just myself or people that are like uncomfortable with expression. We don't not appreciate it. It just makes us uncomfortable. Like, you know, accepting compliments, giving them, but we feel it. Like today when you said to Jeff, like, oh my God, I love your you know, outfit. I was like, me too. Like in my mind, I was thinking it,
Right.
but I don't say it. And when I was listening back, I'm like, I sound like such an asshole the last episode, because I was like, you're so sweet to me, but it's not because I don't feel it. I'm almost like incapable of receiving it and then responding it, even though I'm thinking it, you know? And I think that's been something that I really want to. So when I say it, I'm like, right now, like I've been wanting to compliment your hair. I think your hair looks so good right now. I'm like, I have to say it because I don't say it out loud.
Right.
I just
think it, but you don't say it.
Yes.
Right.
And that's like whatever I learned to not do that. Because if you said it to me, like, oh, I would just like brush it off, you know? But I don't know where I'm going with this.
I felt like that might have been a compliment for me somewhere. That was you were heading
It
that
is.
way.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you're such a, like, you're so.
I feel like you were giving me flowers.
You are.
for some reason.
I am. I'm sorry. I'm like, I can't even, like, but like, I so appreciate that you, like, give those compliments, you know, and because, and I didn't give you yours because it makes me uncomfortable, but it's not because I don't think it.
Right. No.
That's the point, because it makes me uncomfortable.
Right.
So like I said, I'm speaking for all of us sort of withholding kind of uncomfortable, cold people.
Right.
Is that we're not cold inside.
Right. And you know
we
what?
just don't know how to say it out loud, and we don't know how to receive it, but we feel that. I think you're amazing. I think you're beautiful. I think you're so special. It makes me cry. I'm so grateful for you as a friend, as a colleague, you know, as my confidant. Like I said, you're the one of two people I answer the calls all week. And it's like, it's just not easy for us.
Yeah. No, I know.
You know, and I feel bad because I'm obviously very emotional this week.
Yeah. No, I know. Of course.
I don't want you to ever feel that from me or anybody else. Like, that's all.
No.
That's all. I don't know what to say about it.
I know. And listen, I feel like I overly love on you. And like our little romance has only been maybe 4 months now. But I feel like you're uncomfortable with certain compliments or just affection or just even touching, hugging, like all of those things. I feel that from you. And I'm the kind of person like, I actually, we had talked about people pleasing and really just trying to always operate from a space of love and light. Like, I feel like in some small way, I was like meant to be in your life to not just do this podcast, but I feel like I want to love on you because I really feel like you don't give yourself enough. I don't want to say self-love. I don't know if that's the word. I feel like you don't realize how awesome you are. Like,
see,
you
like
really
this is
are.
what you do. This is what you do.
No, but it's true though.
You then
like,
do this and
no,
like.
If you were like, I know a fair amount of assholes as well, and I do not give them the same grace. Like, I just try to lead with light. But I think it's really a blessing when you connect with someone who literally, like, I feel like I can call you in the middle of the night and say, hey, I'm struggling with whatever, and you will pick up the phone and you will stop what you're doing. Like, that's just who you are. And I just think when you get it back, it's hard for you to receive that same love. But you are a very loving, giving person. Like,
I think my love language is like service.
Yes, it is.
It's service. It's not compliments. It's not like that's so like I appreciate all of it. I think the point was I listened to it and I was like, tell her how much you love her. And I just like was listening to myself like, okay, thanks. Like, like I don't know what to do with all these compliments that she's giving me. And
well, I know that you love me because you show me more than you tell me.
Yes, but I want to tell you too, because I think it's equally important. And so I'm saying it like to everyone on the planet. I love you so much. And if I don't express it to you or my friends enough, it's like, it's not because I don't feel it. I just like, I'm learning.
But you show it, Crystal.
And I'm trying.
Actually showing up speaks more volumes than just saying it, to be honest. And I feel like you really show up for your friends.
Thank you. But you're very good at it. You're very expressive.
Thank you. I try. Yeah. Going back to the whole weight loss thing, I'm really, when we were doing that episode, because we didn't really plan on talking about bulimia.
No, we did not.
And me trying to lose weight. We just kind of got there.
Yes, let's pivot to that because that's a big one.
Yeah. Well, I want to say that I'm really glad we ended up having that unexpected conversation. When I tell you the amount of text and emails I got about us opening up about that, and we had two entirely different situations.
Yeah.
Like
wildly,
what you're going through, what has been your history is very different from my weight journey, health and wellness journey. As someone who's much older than you are, who's on the other side of menopause, which is a whole nother thing. I can't even tell you how many people like have reached out to me about that because it's like a real thing and you will eventually get there and that'll be life-changing for you as well. They don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that we talked about it because again, I don't have the same weight issues that you've ever had or any of that stuff. But like for the first time in my life, as someone who is older and who has made health and wellness a priority, I am so glad I decided to take control over my health and how I feel and how I look. I can't remember if the last time I saw you, shortly after the last podcast, I talked about it.
Yes,
but now
you
I've
made
taken
a
action.
Very clear point.
Yes.
Said this is your New Year's resolution. And my goodness, girl, I've never seen someone really activate in the way you have.
Listen.
So quickly, so successfully. And so I want to hear all about it. Okay. But I also want to talk about menopause because, again, this is something that I can gloss over. Mm-hmm. Like you keep saying pre and post.
Yes.
I want to know pre and all the stuff in the middle to post, what that looks like. Let's talk about menopause because I don't really know it. Okay. And I'm at an age where a lot of my friends are starting to talk about like they're feeling it. What are these feelings they're having? The hot flashes, the stuff. But let's talk about your journey because you're just at the beginning, but my God, it feels like you've been very successful already. So I want to know all about it.
Okay. So let's go to premenopause first. So for me, that was, like you said, the hot flashes, the, the hormonal imbalance.
But like, what did you feel or sense from the beginning? Like, did you know that's what it was? Were you like, oh, this is premenopause?
Yeah. I kind of put it together. It's like, not being able to sleep because you're like hot, you're cold, feeling like
so the hot flashes are early.
Yeah, but everybody suffers differently. Okay. Like for me,
and how old were you when you started?
I mean, I probably had my last official period maybe a year ago, like where it completely stopped. So and what happens is it slows down. Like when I started, this is like maybe 3 years ago.
So you're still having your period while you're in menopause?
Well, pre-menopause. But what happens is it's like, the first year, like I didn't get it for like 3 months and I was like, oh, so no period. So I guess I'm going through menopause, pre-menopause.
And how old were you?
I feel like this all started happening like 3 years ago for me when my period started being inconsistent.
Okay, got it.
But then I would be like, oh, the 4th month, it would come back. Okay, like with a vengeance. And I was like, oh, okay. So.
And were you already having hot flashes?
I was not like having really bad hot flashes, but I was definitely, when you're sleeping.
Everything is just starting a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't like, it's like it creeps up on you.
Okay.
It's not like overnight you're like, having cold sweats, hot sweats. It's not like that. It just kind of creeps up on you. But it was like the main thing that let me know that I was getting ready to go through it was the inconsistency in my cycle.
Okay, got it.
So and how then I started paying attention to
You're saying
things.
Hormones.
Yes.
Is that hormonal, like your emotions? Do you feel like?
For me, it was, I went and got my hormonal panels checked.
Okay, so
which was like estrogen and testosterone was like a big one for me because I kept feeling like, what is wrong with me? Why am I so tired? Even if I sleep, like what? Like I just didn't feel like I started just not feeling like myself no matter what I did.
Got it. Okay.
And then a girlfriend said to me, "Have you ever had your testosterone checked?" And I was like, and I thought that was like a guy thing. I was like, really? Why would I get that checked? And I did, and it was very low.
Okay.
And that's like a whole nother conversation. I felt like once I did that and I started asking other women in my age group about it, they were like, oh girl, like I definitely had that done. And, I have the pellet.
Right. I hear a lot of people do the hormonal, the balances.
Absolutely.
And stuff like that.
So that's like a conversation that just needs to like happen with women after like at least in their 40s, just to like prepare themselves for that.
Right.
My estrogen was okay, which, they were like, oh, maybe it's your estrogen. Like you just start having those kind of conversations, which are going down that road to the menopause world. And then the weight gain, and then you don't sleep well because you're hot, you're cold, whatever. So you're just like very restless.
Right.
So that was like pre-menopause.
Okay.
And then on the other side of it was nothing, just like the weight, like everything just started like not moving.
Okay.
And although like for me, I was like 50 pounds up, and this like that 50 pounds like creeped up and stayed probably in the last year and a half, where I felt like no matter what I did, it just nothing was really happening.
Okay.
And which is very frustrating because if you're eating healthy, and then like last year I started working out, the year before last, I like really went into working out after my divorce.
Right.
And I didn't lose a lot of weight, but I felt good.
Right.
And then I just felt like that nothing was working. Like I threw myself into work last year.
No matter what you did.
Yeah. And you're like, wait a minute. It's not like I'm like, if I was like going to KFC, eating a bucket of chicken every day, I was like, of course I'm gaining all this weight because I'm doing all these things. So anyway, then you just feel like, all right, I've made it through the whole menopause thing. Now I'm on the other side of it and I still don't feel good. Like I'm gaining this weight, like all this stuff is happening to my body. And you feel so out of control. And for me, I am a control freak. I want to try to manage every part of my life that I can.
1 pound like in, 1 pound out. It's like you want to like know that's how, like an exact.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to like I just felt like I was out of control.
Yeah.
And
you couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So anyway, I'm not trying to be skinny. I have no interest in being skinny.
Right.
For me, it was really this
how you feel.
Weight journey that I decided to do starting January 1st with Weight Watchers, by the way.
Right.
Reached out to them and said, I needed, like, I couldn't do it by myself. Like I needed like a program in place, and I needed a support system in place because I don't have time to try to do it myself. Like I just was trying that and nothing was really working. Right. So anyway.
It's also, it holds you accountable. You have something to check into.
Absolutely.
Like I'm like that too. Like I
needed to be held accountable.
Of course.
I needed to be held accountable because what happens is life happens.
Yeah.
And you still just, 3 months, like I would get to March and nothing has happened. And I still
But also,
don't
if you do
feel
on
the
your
way
own,
that I want to feel and look the way I want to look at that.
But if you do it on
point.
your own, it's like a free for all.
Yeah.
Where it's like now I see you're like, oh, well, I can eat this. I can it's like at least you have some guidance.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I feel like that's what has been working for you.
What I love about Weight Watchers is you still get to eat the foods that you love. It's all about proportions. And I'm a food person. God bless anyone who the semaglutide works for. But I feel like my friends that are on that, they just don't really eat that much food anymore. It's just a different thing. And I feel like
you want a lifestyle.
I want a lifestyle change.
I know. I get that.
And then I feel like I don't want to spend my life having to depend on that to stay a certain size. Like I just want to get back in my clothes.
Yeah.
I honestly just want to get back in my clothes. I like my curves. I like my big butt. Like I just want to feel good and look good in my clothes.
Yeah.
And
but this is clearly a lifestyle.
Oh, totally.
This is like you can just keep this going forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for me, it kind of started like, I kind of felt like I got a little bit of a jump start because when I went to Europe to visit my boyfriend, the foods in Europe are very different from the foods here. So things aren't so processed. So I was able to kind of eat pretty normal, but I didn't feel like heavy. Yeah. It was like
and the
lighter.
Portions are different.
And smaller portions as well.
Yeah.
And I completely got off sodas. Like I was like completely addicted to ginger ales.
Okay.
Oh my God. Like I was like, I could never eat that.
That's what's good about this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because you're like, suddenly you have to like check yourself with the points, right? You're like, oh shit, I didn't realize.
No, it's
now,
like.
Just that's a huge change, right? You take that to water.
Yep. And then the big thing was alcohol.
Oh, don't tell me
alcohol. I know. Like when I tell you, I'm a social drinker. I don't drink at home by myself.
Yeah. Okay.
But like, I can't think of anything better than a nice sugary sweet margarita with a sugar rim on it. Like that is like my happy place.
It's candy.
And then speaking of happy place, even just being in a new relationship, like I had then I gained happy weight on top of the menopause weight because guess what I do when I'm with my boyfriend? We figure out where we're going to eat. Like we're always excited to see each other because he does come back and forth.
It's already showing.
You think so?
I can't stop looking at.
I didn't put my jacket around my waist, which it's like a habit to do that.
I know it is, and I know you do
because I feel like I'm hiding. Like
I know, I spent my whole life
creating
hiding.
A waist.
I spent my whole life hiding. It can show.
You really can tell a little bit. Like
yes.
These were like super tight and like
yes.
Well, all this area was alcohol.
It's working.
And it was like very bloating.
Crazy.
And then apparently I retain a lot of water.
Well, yeah,
it's very individual for everybody's like individual bodies, but I'm a water retainer, apparently. Yeah. And of course, all I want is like salty food, which makes me retain the water.
Yes,
so
that's easy math right there. So that's called science. And that's pretty obvious.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm drinking more water, forcing myself to, because I got to be honest, it's not like I'm just looking for, I'm not water girl. Like,
okay, so you have to bring this.
My girlfriend has
that. A giant water bottle.
And then I drink one a day, right?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they have the big tubs, and I used to do that. I just do this like 2 or 3 of them. We drink a lot of water.
No, I have to.
Yeah, if you have it there, you'll drink it.
Yeah.
But if you don't have it, like no plastic bottles, none of that junk.
Okay, so I'm going to get myself that.
I'll have one for you. I'll bring you one today. We're big water bottle people. We're anti-plastic.
Okay.
So always have it around, and we have like a filtered water. And like you will drink 10 times more water.
Okay.
Because if you had a little bottle, it's like, it's not enough.
No, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
Because it just like flushes everything out.
Yes.
Like I pee all the time now.
Great.
Because I'm drinking more water.
Love
like
you
I'm always
all the time.
like running for a bathroom. Like
love you peeing all the time, girl.
Yeah, that's a good thing. And it's
very
clear pee.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, am I too much information?
No, I love it.
Because
everyone, you want clear pee.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's good.
Because I had ginger ale pee before because I was like,
because it was all ginger
ale.
And
margarita pee.
It was all. It's all the same.
That pee was not clear.
Okay. Oh shit! I think my pee is like margarita pee. But I drink
and now
water.
I'm like, I pee, and I'm like, did I pee? Because it's like I don't even see like the pee.
That's good. But I told you today, my thing with drinking is I am a drinker.
Well, girl, you deserve a drink at this point. You get to have all the drinks you want for the next month.
It's a lot.
After everything that you've been through.
But I have my way, right? I'd make my drink. I don't put a lot of sugar in it. I make my drink, and then as it gets halfway down, I add ice and I add soda water.
That's a good trick.
And I just keep doing that until it's like water.
Yes.
So it's more like I think I want the feeling of having a drink. It's
you.
the feeling.
Oh my God.
But I don't want to order a mocktail because that makes me feel weirdly like I have a problem because I don't. But I also drink too much that I don't need to.
Right.
So I'm like one drink and just keep watering it down.
And keep watering
so
it
it
down.
turns into a mocktail at the end of the night.
There you go.
But I'm chilling. So I think that's like
Right.
my way. So that's your little tip of like spending less,
That's a good one.
drinking less. Like,
Yeah.
so just, and then you're holding onto a drink and it feels
Absolutely.
social and you still had one.
Because like if I just have to, because of course I started all of this during the holidays where everyone's like, oh my God, it's New Year's, let's celebrate. I'm like,
of course.
So what I do, if I just have to have a drink around people, because sometimes I just get a little, I don't want to say socially awkward, but sometimes I'm in situations where, like work situations where
you want to cut the edge off.
I just need to like have something like, I'm not always like that comfortable around people all the time. So I'm like, okay, I need something in my hand. I need something. But I can do like a straight vodka shot or tequila shot.
Right.
Which is not as fun as having a nice sugary margarita with an umbrella in it.
Like, do you want it because you want to take the edge off or because I like to hold it?
I want to take the edge off and I want to hold it.
Okay.
I want to hold it
tell you,
for dear life.
Do the shot on ice and then some soda if you want to fill it up.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're just, you're like nurturing this little drink and you have a whole drink in your hand.
Oh, and you know what I could do? I could tell them to put it in a regular glass like this. Just put my shot in a glass like this instead of a tequila shot with ice.
That's it.
And that's the shot.
Just tequila on ice.
Because I've been doing it in just a shot glass.
See, then it's too far. Then you're just like shots, like all on ice.
Okay.
And you see, like this is all soda.
And then it's like a watery shot. So then it's like even less calories.
That's right. Then you're drinking water.
Okay. All right. So that's it.
I'm just making you healthier.
No. I appreciate that because like I feel like, oh my God, life is too short. Like, can I just like I don't want to I didn't want to like go on some extreme diet because I won't stay on it.
No. And this is not extreme. And also like I feel like I said, like, look, I love a mocktail.
You still want to,
but you're also avoiding the sugar. Yes. So you don't want the sugar without the tequila.
Absolutely.
That's weird.
And
that's
I'd rather have
trade-off.
The food for my points than drink my points.
Yeah. So just do a tequila or vodka on ice with lots of soda and a lime.
Yep, lots of soda and a lime.
And you just drink that all night. Okay. Add ice, add water.
I love that. And I can have like one of those. And I don't think that's that many points. And then like this right here, like I'm holding this banana for a reason before I eat it. Because this is like one of my new best friends, bananas. Like this is a 0-point food. Like this nectarine that I stole from your house. Is a 0. Well, I stole both of these from your house, but 0-point food. So I can just eat this stuff all
they look very familiar,
day long. So you don't feel like you're not, like I'm never hungry. Okay. I just have to like, once I eat all my points, and right now I have like, I try to stay under 23 points. And it's like, I know it's like Weight Watchers talk, but like, cause I was like, what are points? Like, what does that mean? But once you join the program, and by the way, since I posted it, I've had an overwhelming response of other people in the world that have done Weight Watchers and have had success. Right. Like they actually.
Well, it's very successful.
Yeah. Cause you get to eat. Yeah. Like
I'm looking forward to the fact that I can eat unlimited bananas.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and then
you're always taught that like you can't eat bananas,
but I don't really deprive myself of anything because, like, for me, 2 bites of cheesecake is better than no cheesecake.
That's right. But if you didn't have something to tell you, you can't eat the whole cake.
No.
Then you eat the whole cake.
And then you can really break it down and say, okay, how many calories is 2 bites of cheesecake, basically? Yeah. And they basically tell you. And then here's the other thing.
Oh, shit.
If I stay, okay, so my point system is 23 points, and I'm going to move on from this. But I'm so excited that I found something that works for me, and I'm starting to see little, like, I think I've lost like 10 pounds at least.
Yeah, no, you look good.
And most people are like, oh my God, you didn't really need to lose it. And I keep saying, like, you can hide 50 pounds, but you can't hide 50 pounds because I thought I was hiding 50 pounds. And I just recently did a video for this job that I did, and I could see it all in my face. Yeah. Like, no matter how I try to like sneak and snatch my little waist in and stuff.
Different. And by the way, I think when people say, like, you don't need to lose weight, it's all coming from good place. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
But then those same people are in my comments going, ooh.
That's right. But what I'm saying is, like, it's really
you gained
nice.
Some weight.
But
like I have a lot of comments.
People in the comments saying you gained weight?
Oh yeah, like especially with the stuff that I posted. Like some of the stuff I did like a month ago before I started Weight Watchers. But if
what are they saying?
They're like, oh, you picked up some weight. And I used to delete those comments.
No more.
And now I just leave them because it's a reminder. Like, this is what I look like before I took control.
Are they saying that just because they're haters?
No, they're saying it because I was definitely bigger.
Okay, so you feel like you can take it
I was 206 pounds. I knew I was 206 pounds, which for me, for my height, I'm 5'10", but that is not my healthy weight. I am definitely overweight.
I remember growing up, and I don't know if no one hate on me, whatever, but I don't know if this is the right. But I remember growing up, and they said if you're 5 feet, you should be 100 pounds, and for every inch, you're additional 5 pounds.
Okay, so if I'm 5'10", what am I supposed to be?
That's 155, 60, right? Yeah.
Don't ask me. I'm not like.
Yeah. So like.
So I'm supposed to be what?
45, 150.
Okay.
150 because I'm 5'9", and they say I should be 145.
Right. Okay,
by the
that's
way,
about right.
145 is about right.
Right.
I would
that
say
is about right
that's
because
my lowest end.
I'm at like.
Because I'm like 145 is very. I'm 150. 145 is like I have to fight hard to be one.
Yeah.
Like that's only 5 pounds. 150, 155 is very good
165, 170, I'm a happy woman.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit low before, but like it's around that. Like 5 feet is 100, and then like
right now I'm at 194.
You've lost 12 pounds.
Yeah, I've lost 12 pounds.
That's amazing. You should be proud of yourself.
I know.
But by the way, last time we were talking about it, we were eating chips here.
We were, and now look at me now.
You just have to check yourself.
Yeah.
Like
I'm very conscious. Like I look at food like it's almost like anything I get to eat extra is like a bonus.
Yeah.
If I get something, like even a drink, it's like, oh, this is a bonus.
Yeah.
And what happens is if I stay under my points, so my points are 23.
Yeah.
But I can go up to 28 if I just have to.
Okay.
But if I stay under 23, those points roll over to the next day.
Oh, yeah.
So then
you get that big old.
So if I'm really good one day, then I have some rollover. And if I spend a day eating 0 point foods, like just vegetables, like, and fruit, and fruit, then that means Mama gets
you're going crazy the next
day. Burger with a lettuce bun the next day. You know what I'm saying? And like,
but I love that you're like looking forward to it.
No.
Right. Without before, it's like mindlessly eating.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I go through like waves. Like I'll just mindlessly eat.
Oh, for sure.
I know.
And then, with my travel schedule, like my whole life in a lot of ways, it's like, okay, I got to eat something. Yeah. I'm in the Delta Sky Lounge, whatever. I have a funny story about Delta too. But that's neither here. And an update. But I actually have a funny story about Delta, and it's kind of piggybacking off like the thing that you were saying about the flowers that you were giving me, and I had no idea because I had to call and let me just tell Delta. Okay, all right. Basically, anyone out there who's struggling, who's really trying to be healthier, take control of your eating, be the size that you want to, get back in your clothes, whatever your individual goal is. Please let me somehow be some kind of inspiration for you, because when I tell you, I love sashimi style sushi, but I love it with that rice underneath with lots of soy sauce. And I'm like really, literally making the choice to just scale it back.
Yeah.
Like I had sushi the other day, and I was like, I want an eel and avocado roll, but like I want rice in it. But can you just put a little bit of rice in there?
Right.
Not like the big yummy. And when I tell you, every little bit makes a difference.
Yeah.
And it feels good to be doing something about it. Like you could talk the talk, but like to walk and really have to actually discipline yourself to like back away from like, the barbecue ribs and the potato salad. It's not
amazing.
Easy. But to be able to have 2 ribs and 2 tablespoons of potato salad.
Right.
And then give yourself some time and drink some water in between. You're like, okay, I had it. Yeah. So that craving, that want for it is gone.
Yeah.
And then you have like,
really doing
your cashews and stuff. So
but
I'm excited to show you guys
your dance videos. It's like a thing, right? Now I'm watching.
I know I have more. I haven't posted them yet.
But I like lie there and I'm like, you're already posting. I'm like, fuck, I'm like still in bed. You're in your sweats. You're working out. You're dancing. I'm like, this is very inspiring. And even though like I'm still lying in bed and not getting up, I'm like, the amount of people who are getting up to do it. I'm like, I love that, New Year's is a time to really make resolutions. I think it's a great starting point. And I think you're inspiring a lot of people. I see a lot of the comments.
No, they were really excited about it. I thought you were going to be like, oh, fuck off. We don't care.
Because they get it with you.
They were like, go, Cynthia, go.
Weight is one of the biggest issues. And like you said, like our stuff is so different, but it's all under the same umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my weight stuff is like, I don't think people necessarily look at me like that, but my friends that I grew up with, they all know I've suffered my whole life about it. And it could be external, it could be internal.
People love that you talked about it. I was reading the comments and they were like, that's so many people said it was their favorite episode. And I thought it was not going to do well, to be honest, because I was like, nobody wants to hear about our stuff. They were very much inspired.
I think everyone
by it.
Struggles or knows someone that struggles. Mm-hmm. I did get a lot of messages. And I remember when I talked about it when I was on Housewives, like people told me that they were bulimic.
Mhm.
They never told anybody. I had someone that I grew up with tell me they've never told someone in 30 years. I'm like, whoa. Like, people are really struggling. I always love to use the new year as an opportunity to get myself organized.
Same.
Specifically this year, I know both of us wanted to organize our finances. Thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable. They show me all of my subscriptions right in one place and help me easily cancel ones that I forget I'm paying for.
Rocket Money also pulls together all of my spending across all of my different accounts so I can clearly track my spending habits and see where I can cut back.
Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings.
See all of your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where your money is going. For ones you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them.
Rocket Money's dashboard gives you a clear view of your expenses across all of your accounts.
Easily create a personalized budget with custom categories to help keep your spending on track. See your monthly spending trends in each category to know exactly where your money is going.
Get alerts if bills increase in price, there's unusual spending activity, or if you're close to going over budget.
The new goals feature automatically saves money for you so you don't have to think about it. Pay off your credit card debt, put money away for a house, or just build your savings. Rocket Money makes it easy.
Rocket Money will even try to negotiate lower bills for you. They automatically scan your bills to find opportunities to save, then you can ask them to negotiate for you. They'll deal with your customer service so you don't have to.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features.
Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/humblebrag today.
That's rocketmoney.com/humblebrag. rocketmoney.com/humblebrag.
I know we've been talking a lot about resolutions and things we're bringing into 2025, and one very important thing is making more time to prioritize our self-care.
Specifically, what we're bringing with us is our Symbiotica liposomal vitamin C. I started taking Symbiotica's liposomal vitamin C to improve my skin, and I swear by their products. Not only does it support collagen production and immune health, but it comes in these convenient liquid bottle pouches, perfect for when you're on the go or traveling. Their products make it so easy to stay healthy and feel good.
I love to take their vanilla citrus vitamin C for a boost in the morning. I'm already noticing a difference in my skin and my ability to dodge colds.
What's so cool about Symbiotica is the quality of their products. They're free from seed oils, preservatives, toxins, and artificial additives usually found in supplements. You're only getting the good stuff your body craves.
And with their advanced liposomal absorption technology, nutrients are delivered safely and efficiently so your body gets exactly what it needs, right where it needs it. I feel good and safe knowing Symbiotica's formulas are clean, intentionally sourced, and just what I need to feel healthy.
Their convenient monthly subscription service helps you never run out of your health-boosting essentials. Help establish a healthier you in 2025 with this awesome deal we have for you.
High quality, holistic wellness right at your fingertips. Be present and feel your best for life's most memorable moments.
Go to Symbiotica.com/humble for 20% off your order plus free shipping today. Go to Symbiotica.com/humble for 20% off your order plus free shipping today. I really hate that it's like not embarrassing, but like a secret thing to like admit.
It's a very shameful thing.
Because I was watching something the other night and somebody was saying something like, why is this person, like they were saying, it's not like I have an eating disorder, but they said it like it was
so negative,
a bad thing to have.
Yeah.
And I'm so aware now because of you, like anytime that eating disorder thing, dysmorphia, whatever. Yeah, I'm all woke on all that stuff now.
Yeah.
So when I heard it, I was like, this is why people don't talk about it, because there's a shame that is kind of attached to it, and I don't like that.
There is, but I think that like being overweight, being underweight, a lot of it is all attached to shame.
That's true.
And I think there's something specific about bulimia. They think it's gross. They think it's this and that. But the reality is like when you finally say it.
Sorry, I don't like the strings on the banana.
No strings on the banana, girl. No strings on the banana.
Oh my God.
But like then you say it and then someone else is like, oh my God, I can't believe she said it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they feel
I want you to yell it from the mountaintops because you don't even realize that you're helping people.
I know. It is weird to say it
It's like a
loud.
secret. Like they're living this secret life and they can feel comfortable.
It is a secret life.
Overcoming it and getting.
Well, I think there's so much about like
the help they need to.
Like I know that
deal with
people
it.
like I remember because I've dealt with overeating. You eat in shame, right? You also purge in shame, and purging in shame is a very, very scary thing. Like I can't tell you. I mean, the detail. I mean, people who
because you don't want anyone
to hear
so
you.
you have to like, what is that?
Okay. You don't want anyone to hear you. Find out. So you have to like wait.
You got to find a place or wait till no one's around.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Oh my God.
It's awful. It's awful. And then you hear someone walk in and then you're in the middle and it's just.
And then you got to walk out and act like you didn't just do it.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. But, you know, I think the more, like you said, the more we talk about it.
And we need to normalize talking about it. Like,
yeah. I think it's way more normal. And also, I think people don't realize who don't have eating disorders that just because you're bulimic doesn't mean you're also not anorexic or an overeater. You can be all of them at the same time.
Oh, wow. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, because I remember people saying like, you can't be bulimic because you're not skinny. They say that to me. And I'm like, it doesn't work to get skinny that way. It's a physical feeling of I don't enjoy having the food in my body. But like people who are anorexic, that's sort of in general, they don't eat. It doesn't mean that they don't like then binge and purge. Right. Which is also bulimia.
People that are anorexic just don't eat food.
That's just generally don't eat. But you can also be bulimic.
Bulimic people eat and
purge.
Purge.
Yeah. And there's people that overeat that keep it in. There's also bulimics that overeat and then purge. It's a whole thing. But I think the whole point is that people are struggling and sharing our stories means that so many people else have it. And I think that's why the response has been the way it is. Yeah. And that we'll protect, you know, anyone that messages you or messages me, we protect their stories. And
absolutely.
I think that's really important that people should know that because, you know, but I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Very proud of you.
And I'm so proud of you as well. And I can't wait to show you guys. I'm going to do it until March and hopefully
That's your goal.
Well, that's my goal, to lose the weight. Okay. And then I want to continue.
Did you give yourself the goal? Did they give you a goal?
I gave myself the goal.
Okay, you're saying 50 pounds in 3 months.
Yeah.
3 full months.
Because then I'll be back in, like, right now, I'm a 12.
Okay, so that's 15 pounds a month.
And then people were like, you can't be a 12. I'm like, I'm a 12. Like, please know that I know how to, like, I'm the master of disguise.
On your clothes.
And I know, absolutely. You know, if I could get back in 8.5, a 10, I'm good. Yeah. Like, I'm really good because that'll put me back in my clothes. Right. Like, I'm just not going to keep going up a size. And that's what I was doing. I just kept going up and up and up. And I'm like, what am I doing? Right. Like, I'm not even. And by the way, I don't even know. It was like almost like I was feeling some kind of, I just felt out of control, but I felt like I was not letting myself down. I felt like I was covering up something else by just not taking control of it. And I think that's because I'm so used to controlling things in a way. And I didn't.
But, you know, waking and all that doesn't mean that you're an out of control person. I think that's the thing where it's shameful. Like, it can mean that you're masking something else. I mean, it means something different to everybody. It's like when people like,
that's true. I'm
when
glad
couples
you said
like fight, it's like, they're not fighting about that thing they're fighting about. They're fighting about the history of it's something else. It doesn't mean that everybody's like that. I want to make it clear. It's not like everyone's hiding something, but it could be emotional eating. It could be emotional. There's so many.
Stress eating. I'm a big stress eater.
Right.
For sure. So yeah, I'm not an expert on any of this. Yeah. I'm just sharing my personal story. And for me, it just felt like I just needed to get control of my weight and wellness. Yeah. Because I just felt like it was just going and
But
going
I think what's really special is you're talking about it from the beginning. You talked about before you even started a diet and we're watching it. Because a lot of people like, they'll tell the after story because like they saw the success. So like 3 months ago, I was feeling this way, but now I look like this. It's like, you're like a couple weeks ago, like I'm this way and I want to do it. And already, I mean, so much progress and it's going to go. There might be a plateau. Yeah. And you're going to talk about that.
And right? I know that's probably going to happen at some point too. But you know what? I actually love that I can sit down and go to a restaurant and look at the menu and actually make healthy choices of eating. Just be at least aware of it. Like that was just not even my world. Like I literally ate whatever I wanted. Never thought about it.
Yeah, I feel like you have a different lens now.
Crap. Like I feel like I'm making myself a priority. Right. Like I'm actually thinking about what I'm putting into my body. Now. Right.
Right.
Which is a whole nother level of like I wasn't even planning on that part. I just was like, but now I feel really proud to say, okay, I'm going to have a sparkling water with lemon.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to have, like I just had like the burger. I had a burger. I was craving a burger. And I was like, okay, lettuce, bun. And I got sweet potato fries on the side, and I ate 10 of them.
Right. Like you're so intentional now.
And I was like, and I was actually satisfied because I'm a cravings girl too.
Right.
Like if I want a burger, I'm just going to have it.
That's right. And the
but
problem
I don't have
is
to have
like before, it's mindless eating.
Oh yeah.
That's my thing. It's like when I'm in I'm just like, oh, I'll just eat whatever. And you just endless eating. You don't even pay attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you actually pay attention, you enjoy it more. It's a different experience eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of healthy choices.
Yes.
Let's talk about 14 Friends.
Oh, you mean unhealthy choices?
Unhealthy choices. I stand corrected.
Yeah, it's been an interesting response, like very supportive. And I want to address because, it's like when we talk about comments of like, you can have 1,000 great comments, but you only notice the negative.
Of course.
So I will say, I haven't really seen anything negative, but one has struck me as being not a criticism, but just to check myself is one that like, I should have told my friend earlier that I was going to Housewives. I waited too long. And that is actually something that I take responsibility for.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it would have changed the outcome of my friends.
I kind of feel like it would not have changed.
But that's something that
but you can own that. Yeah, you can own that. I feel like the outcome probably would have been very similar to the outcome you got. But yeah, you can own that.
Because I think of all the things that I could have done differently to have changed it, because I know everyone's supportive, get rid of the people, whatever. But like at the end of the day, like I would have preferred my friendships to stay intact.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could have been something that would have helped.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lesson for me that I've actually taken since, but it's interesting to see it now, people responding like, it's nice to see your side, but you could have said something earlier to your friend. And I totally agree with that. And that's something I will do in the future of being really direct and honest from the get-go, as opposed to holding and waiting and, being too scared to. I think honesty from the beginning is the best. And releasing that and regardless of what outcome. I think I was holding on until I knew what was going to happen. And then maybe I wouldn't have to say it if I didn't get it, because I really didn't think I was.
Right.
But at the end of the day, that was still not the right thing for me to do. I should have said it from the beginning. And
to make excuses for you, but just knowing your personality, I feel like in your mind, maybe a small part of your mind kind of kept feeling like it wasn't really going to happen.
A huge part of my mind.
So you didn't really have to it's like, why go down this dark road, which could have still had the same result, even if you didn't go on the show, the fact that you were even being considered to go on the show. And I think at that point you were so afraid of the outcome that it was kind of like, well, let me just wait and see. Well, let me just have this interview. And then it just you had waited so long, then it was like, well, shit, I may as well just see if I'm going to get it before I do it. Because if you don't just do it right away, then it's like
that's what happens.
Because I've been in positions like that where
because if you don't get it, then but then you don't have to say anything.
But then you don't have to say anything. And that's what
it's like one.
And then of course in those situations, it always feels like in those situations, that's when you end up getting the damn thing that you didn't want to have to admit you got. That's when, if you want to get something, have something like that hanging over your head. And then of course you're going to get it, because then you have to face the hell that you have to pay now for getting the great thing that you deserve to get.
The hell.
Yeah.
If I wasn't going to hell yet.
Right.
And you know what? Exactly. I was like, I don't need to see the devil. Like, I don't want you.
If I don't have to.
Yeah. And then here I am, like, now I have to face the devil, and the devil is, and
I have to
blowing me up right now. So it's just, it's a hard one.
Yeah.
Of course, everything is hindsight.
Yeah, of course.
Right. And I think that's like, how would I have done it differently? And I think, of course, it's easy to say that because I know what happened. I ended up on the show. I know I lost these friends and blah, blah, blah. That being said, maybe that would have changed the course of what happened. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. But I think that from what I have taken from this story, it just felt like if it wasn't this, it would have been something else.
Something else.
Like it just wasn't like, it almost feels like sometimes with friendships, sometimes it almost feels like some friends are looking for a reason to not be friends with you. You know what I mean? It's just like it's like, oh, so you did this one thing that pissed me off, and it's like, and then they just hold you to the cross on it. And
well,
it's
again,
like,
that's something I would never know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if that was the case, I didn't know, and they picked a big one. They picked a giant bullseye, and that was it.
Well, I think they made it bigger than what it really was. I mean, at the end of the day,
But it is weird that I told the whole story. It's something that I thought I would keep close to the vest.
How do you feel now that you told? Doesn't it feel like a relief to just say it, just tell the story already and move on?
I'll tell you, because of the fires and I'm so distracted, it doesn't matter. But if I was just normal life,
you would have time to focus on it.
I'd be like,
you have no time to focus on it because there's like way bigger, more important things in the world happening right now.
But I needed to talk about it because people are weirdly so interested. I don't owe anybody anything, but I think it was a story that needs to be told because I think it probably resonates with a lot of people just in friendships. Look, the number's big. It was about a big thing, but as women and talking to our daughters about girl code and friendship and did all that stuff like that. We were talking about sort of Beverly Hills right now and girl code. That's kind of the topic right now this week. Yeah. I mean, friendships are constantly hard to navigate. And, if you can find your best friends and really feel good about them and they feel good about you all the time, that's rare.
Yeah.
That's really rare to not feel jealousy and not to have those feelings back and wanting the best for everybody. And I think everyone says they do, but do they really?
Yeah.
And then when push comes to shove, I discover that they don't.
Yeah.
And, it makes me check myself of I really love my friends. And you were saying earlier today, I was we were in my car, you have a lot of friends. I do have a lot of friends.
You have so many friends. You're not going to miss these 14 people.
I don't. But
or whatever they are, the 14. I literally want to write the 14 Friends movie at this point.
By the way, it'll probably become some kind of movie. I could tell the story. But I like having a lot of people around.
Yeah. And
I have to if I'm feeling things, jealousy, things, I have to check myself because I realize that that's what it comes from, and it's not doesn't come from a bad place, but it's a place that can lead to something bad. And I don't want that for me or my kids. And so just life lessons all around. But yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think one of my takeaway from this whole story, which by the way, this was my least favorite podcast we ever did because I was just so triggered and so upset, just hearing the story because I just think it's so sad in a lot of ways to go through something like that. And even to lose people that you thought that you felt cared about you and had your back. I think that it's okay, in a season with someone. I think it's okay for people not to go into the next chapter with you. If that's what it is, then that's what it is. And I think the people that your real village and your real people that are with you, those are the ones that stay with you.
Right.
And the ones that don't, they kind of, in a way, find their reasons or justify their own reasons for dropping off.
Right.
Are you respecting your boundaries and your own self-worth and mental wellness to your own energy that you want to be around that makes you feel good, just making that choice hey, maybe we've just come to the end of this and it's not a bad thing always. It's really not. It just is what it is. And I don't mind at this point in my life just meeting people where they are.
Yeah.
If this is what it is and you can't be happy for me, okay, I take accountability. Maybe I could have told you sooner. Maybe you would have been happier for me if I did it that way. Okay, I didn't do it that way because I didn't really want to open up that gate unless it was really happening. We could go back and forth about how it should have been, I think. But at the end of the day, if you want to be friends with someone, you're going to try to work it out with that friendship. You can be mad at your friend and then be like, you know what? I didn't really like that you did that. And I feel like you could have done this, that, and the other and validated my feelings in this way and the other. And you can just do all those things and still figure it out if they're your people.
Right.
And if they're really your people Your people really fuck with you.
Yeah.
No matter what. And you just can get to the other side.
Yeah.
But when it's time to start a new season, a new chapter, a new year, I think it's important to look at the people that are in your village and energetically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, are these people good for you?
Yeah.
Are you good for them?
See, you're really, you are, I think you're someone that, you recalibrate every year of like who's right for in your life, what you want in your life. I find that about you. Like what I'm heading into that, you find like annually, like you're like, this is what I'm gonna do with my body.
I try to do a cleansing.
Yeah, it's a cleanse. Like you're very, I'm like discombobulated with my words right now, but you kind of assess the year and you move into something new chapters. Like you're very good at that. I have this thing of like, almost like I'm a hoarder
holding on
of people.
Like you don't want to let
I don't want to let anything go because it's, I don't want the fallout. I don't want to like, I don't know.
Go. And it's not easy.
Deal with it.
And please know, if I'm making it look easy, it's not easy. Like
Okay.
I've had a fair amount of toxic people that I've let into my life. I've had a fair amount of people who didn't really bring much to my life as friends. And it wasn't like an equal or just, it wasn't reciprocal a lot of times. And I still kept them around for years. I made excuses for them. Oh, they're just like this because of this, that, and the other. And oh, they mean well. Oh, well, you just don't know her that well. Like I could go on and on. I can definitely enable a situation.
Right.
But as I get older, this is what the late 50s look like. I just choose not to put my energy into anything or anyone that does not feel good. It's like very simple. And you can read your energy, that feeling when you're around someone. If someone says something, gaslights you in some way, or like says something negative, and it's like a consistent thing, you can't ignore that feeling that you get where it's like, and you want to say, well, what did you mean by that? Like, well, why are you saying that? Or that really hurts me when you say it that way. Or that shouldn't happen. Like, you should never have to question friendships. Like, it is not acceptable to be 80% a good friend to me. I want a fucking 100% or leave me alone.
Right.
If you can't be, if you're just with me or you're not.
Yeah.
I don't even require that much.
Right.
I just want you to be kind to me.
Right.
I don't even need anything from you except your friendship.
Right.
To know that, hey, do you want to go and celebrate like whatever win you had this week or whatever win I had this week?
Point?
Like,
what's the point
why
if
are
you're
we
not
friends
100% in?
if I'm sitting here questioning, I'm driving home from lunch with you and a remark that, a comment you said or whatever is bugging me.
Yeah.
Like that means that it's not coming from a good place.
Right.
And I know, and I'm beyond like convincing myself that I'm crazy. Maybe I'm imagining that I feel this shitty feeling in my stomach after leaving you and being around your energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
but you're not
your feelings don't lie.
No.
When people are nice to me and kind and loving, I feel good. I feel the love. I feel the kindness. And when the energy is weird and
something's
off.
Yeah.
Like I'm recognizing that energy as well.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's okay because I gladly give those people to whoever wants them.
Yeah.
I just want like the one or two people that consistently show me love.
Right.
And that's it.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Like I don't require that much again. Just be nice to me.
Yeah.
And I'll be nice to you.
100%. Well,
So
we're going to go to the new year like that.
Yeah.
So I know we have to wrap it up because I think we've been here for 17 hours. It was a tough week.
Yes. And I commend you. And I am still praying for you because I know it's not completely over.
Well, I'm good.
But I'm praying, I'm still giving you strength.
Thank you. Very proud of you.
Resilience.
I can't wait for like the next few months.
I'm going to show up in a bikini in a 2-piece.
That's right.
Well, a 1-piece, but yeah. I make sure you got some legs.
You don't know yet. You don't know.
I might.
You don't know.
Right. Let me find out there's a 6-pack hiding underneath here.
But the next time we're together, there's a lot of news about Blake Lively and Meghan Markle. And we haven't even talked about it, but I just hosted a baby shower with Blake Lively and Meghan was there.
Oh, okay.
She was a guest.
We get another great Crystal story.
I know. And it was
a
lot of people there, but it was actually 2 days before the Blake stuff went down. Like before she came out and this harassment, all that.
Which I'm still like in shock about because
I know, there's
when
a
I
lot to
tell
talk
you,
about.
it's like one of the best movies I've seen in a long time. Did you see it yet?
Yes, you said you're
And I love that movie. And like hearing all this like stuff that's going on now after the fact, you would have never known that all this stuff was going on. Like the chemistry was amazing. The story was amazing. Did you ever watch it? Did you see it?
I haven't seen it.
Oh my God.
Is it great? Well, I feel
I
like
literally
after what happened,
I would watch it again.
I almost don't want to watch it, but now I
no,
kinda
you have to watch it.
Okay.
And then process everything that's like, you know, because you're kind of like, you know,
but I literally
these
like,
people.
I was thinking, I was like, wow, these like the two most talked about women right now are Megan and Blake. And like, we're all just together.
And you're just hanging out with them.
I know, but it was pre-explosion of all this stuff, but just days before. So I'll tell you about the whole thing next time, but I thought I would just.
I can't wait.
I know, it's a lot. It's too much. It's not as good as my sword story.
Oh!
Just prepare you. It's not as good.
You know, okay, I think this is a concern here. You're not going to run out of stories at some point because I think we kind of like, I think the humble braggers are like, we need our Crystal stories.
They think I have weird stories, but they're weird.
But you kind of have like endless stories though.
I know. And it's so funny because I saw someone said, I kept Googling the story. There's many sword stories apparently. They're like, which sword story? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, there's one.
Oh my God.
It's in California, Southern California, just a little south of LA if you're really specific about it. It's there. It's intense. But anyways, I'm humble brag. Do you have one? I'm humbled by my city.
Yes.
I guess my brag is my house is still standing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of, I don't even know what to say. I'm humbled by it all. And I'm grateful that my beautiful city like has supported each other, but I'm just devastated by it. I don't know. That's all I have. I'm sure it's similar. Like,
yeah. Well, I'm going to steal your humble brag and just piggyback off of that because again, although I was not directly affected, I feel your pain. I feel all the victims' pain. I feel LA. I feel like I just feel it all and my heart just bleeds honestly for
thank you.
that something like this can even happen.
Yeah.
It's like unimaginable. So yeah.
We're so grateful for the first responders, the firefighters, everybody that's donated and come together. And it's a resilient city, but it's going to take a long time to heal. So anyways, be safe. We love everybody. Thank you for listening.
Be safe. You guys, we love you. Bye.